Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Unobtrusive Healer, aka Felicia, and we are here for another pick-a-pole reading today. Before we get into these beautiful crystals and today's topic, I would like to point out that my online shop is now live and all my readings / products are all available for purchase there, and I have linked the shop in the description box below if you're keen to check it out. There's even gift cards for something different or unique to give to like your token spiritual friend. I feel like we've all got one of those nowadays, surely. And it can be a really cool gift if you know that your friend's open to it, of course. I wouldn't go purchasing it for someone that you're not sure would appreciate a reading. But speaking of the shop and the gift cards, I'm also now running a monthly draw here on YouTube to win a $25 gift card that you can use within 3 months simply by commenting on any video of mine. So you can comment on any video, as many videos as you like, but just one entry per video. So don't waste time commenting heaps of times on the same video, because I will only be taking each entry or each, I guess, account one time for each video. So one entry per video on as many videos as you like. And now that that's out the way, today's topic, it does come with a trigger warning, because it's how can you be a better friend / family member, a better lover, and a better human. So potentially, like, depending on what comes through, you may need to be willing to see yourself in like a less than ideal light, or be willing to admit where you can improve in some different ways. So I don't really fully know what we are going to get yet. I haven't seen all the cards, only the few that fell upright. So I don't know what's going to come through. It might not be for the faint-hearted, but then again, I do fill my readings and my workspace with a lot of good energy and a lot of good intentions, and I do find my messages are relatively gentle. So if this reading is for you and you're willing to really take a good look at yourself, continue with caution. But if you're easily triggered, this is your warning now. But remember, this reading is filmed with love and with the hope of helping you grow. So we'll be channeling your loved ones to see how you can be a better friend, family member. We'll channel your current or future lover or partner to see how you can be a better lover now, maybe in the future. We'll see what comes through. And we'll also channel the divine to see how you can be a better human being. And then we're going to also see how you can improve your energy spirit with some very tangible advice that you can take away with you and practice in your reality. And we're also going to finish off with a final card of advice, and we're even going to pull some charms today and see if there's any advice that wants to come through in the charms as well. So now into these beautiful crystals. Now that that's all out the way, group 1, your crystal today is the amethyst. Group 2, you guys have the green chalcedony. It's a very raw piece, but when I saw it, I instantly connected with it and fell in love with it. I don't know what it is about it, but I was just like, oh, I have to buy you. And group 3, you guys have the Amazonite. I almost forgot then, I spaced. It's Amazonite. So if you need to pause the video to spend some time tuning into your intuition, feel free to do so. And when you're ready, I will see you over in your pile. Hi Group 1, welcome to your reading. So you guys have chosen this beautiful piece of amethyst if you've chosen Group 1. So we'll pop the beautiful amethyst over here. And before we open up your reading, I just thought I'd point out that the frequency I chose for you guys is a frequency called Cosmic Oasis. It's by Meditative Mind, and I've linked it below. It was the frequency that I was drawn to for your reading. It was also playing in the intro, but each group's going to have a different frequency, but just to make things easier, because you were the first group, I just chose this one at the start as well. But there could be a reason you need to listen to it. If you look at the link and you feel quite drawn to it, I would recommend either sleeping to it or meditating to it. There could be a reason that you're meant to hear this frequency, or it could link into the reading somehow, but it is a Cosmic Oasis frequency of God. Thank you, universe, for everything. Okay, so we're going to get into your reading. So the first card that we've got here is about how you can be a better friend or family member. I've kind of grouped them two together. So we could be channeling a friend, a family member, or yeah, a friend or a family member, really. All right, so what have we got here? So you've got number 18, Serendipity. Now, serendipity, so what I'm feeling with this card is there needs to be a level of acceptance when it comes to less than ideal situations still being divine or divinely orchestrated. Sometimes maybe fate leads you to someone and you think, you know, fate brought us together, this is it, this is the one, but perhaps you were only fated to be together or to be friends for a certain amount of time, and then you're meant to sort of move on as you continue to grow and evolve. So it almost feels like if you've had a falling out with a family member or a friend, or you're wondering why fate, you know, brought you into this family, or why fate brought you this friend who has now, you know, hurt you, or there's a less than ideal situation going on. It's understanding that fate doesn't always mean that something is going to last forever. Sometimes fate means that we're led to a very important lesson that we need to learn for our evolution as a human being, or as a spiritual being even. So this is still trusting fate, still trusting the universe, and not doubting anyone or anything just because it's temporary, or just because it's bringing you hardship or conflict. There's still divinity in even the difficult experiences, and you shouldn't let that bring about a skepticism in you when it comes to, you know, meeting new friends and things like that. I wasn't going to pull clarifiers, but I do feel a little bit called to get a little bit more information on this card in particular. So let me just... There's also this element of surrender coming into this card. So like if you're someone who is closed off or guarded when it comes to making new friends, or you find it difficult to trust new people, this is sort of about surrendering to what is and just allowing it to be what it will be, and kind of being present and just, I guess, focusing on what it is in the moment rather than worrying about where it's going to go, where it's going to take you, what's going to happen next. Like, even if a challenge arises out of it, you'll learn something from it that was vital to your evolution. Is there anything else that we can clarify with the serendipity card in relation to group 1 being a better friend or family member? If this feels more like friendships, because it's, you know, friendships can come and go. Family's more sort of forever. You know, whether you like it or not, you're always going to have a tie to them, unless you completely like free yourself from a family situation. But it feels more like we're channeling friends, either like a friendship collective, just an energy, or we are channeling a specific friend. Because, yeah, like I said, it's like sort of being led to people, even if it's not someone that's going to be in your life forever. So it feels more temporary than family to me, but take it as it resonates. I do want to say that if you're specifically here to find out in terms of family, it does look like this is a situation where you feel like you don't belong, and this is about letting go, release, and following your heart so that it leads you to your soul family. That's the vibe I get here with that, because this is like, you know, a bunch of clovers down here, and then there's this one where she's grabbed on and she's like floating away. So it's like not feeling bound or restricted. Like, if you don't resonate with the family that you're born into, this is about finding your soul family. Not feeling like you have to remain in a place that makes you feel invalid or unseen or unappreciated, undervalued, in a place that you don't resonate with. This is about following your soul and letting it lead you to the place that you do resonate, or the people that you do resonate with. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, hold on a moment. So is there anything to clarify serendipity? Okay, I'm going to take all of these as a sign that maybe I picked up on the message already, and we're not meant to go there because it's just sort of creating a total mess in front of me every time. So let's move on from serendipity. But yeah, this is just more about, you know, trusting what's in front of you in the moment, going with the flow, you know, trusting the relationships that come into your life and just being present in them, because even if they're temporary, they're still divinely orchestrated. So I do feel like you are going to be meeting new friends, and this is about trusting, being very, I guess, authentic, so that you meet the right people, the people you really resonate with, and just, yeah, going with the flow a little bit more and having some trust. All right, so we're going to move on to this deck now, and this is how can you be a better lover. So even if you're single, this is still good advice for you in terms of either where you're at right now or in terms of meeting someone in the future. So we have here number 5, win or lose. Okay, so this card is about treating relationships less like a battle or game to be won, and, you know, seeing issues as you and your partner versus the issue, not you versus your partner. So this is about recognizing that when you are in a partnership, you're on the same team, and if problems arise, it's your team, your relationship against the problem, and it's you guys trying to solve the problem together, as a partnership, as a duo, as a team. This can be a card where, you know, for some reason, whether you've been conditioned or, you know, this is a pattern that you learned growing up that maybe you need to undo. Whatever the case, it's like you know, arguments and relationships, it's like a battleground where it's like win or lose, and it's win at all costs. So maybe when you start to get into an argument, you might get like a really sharp tongue and say really awful things, or things that don't necessarily need to be said, in an effort to win the argument because you feel like you need to win. And this is about recognizing that that's an ego move, really, if you're honest with yourself. And this is about, I guess, softening that defensive layer and coming from a place of love to resolve the issue, rather than feeling like you have to win at all costs, or feeling like you need to have the upper hand, or that in relationships one person's, you know, wears the pants. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. You can be two equals who compromise and want the best for each other and for the connection. So you don't have to be so argumentative or so defensive. You don't have to treat it as a win or lose situation. It's just sort of about like softening that exterior, because usually that is like a reaction that we learnt in childhood, or a conditioned reaction that we need to kind of come out of, because it's almost like, maybe even, you know, if your partner was to raise a concern they have, or to try to talk about their feelings, you might take it really personally and deflect or defend yourself, whereas you need to just sort of soften, listen, allow them to feel heard, and then come together to solve the problem. Or, you know, take the time to really listen to them. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't hear things from a wounded place. Like, try to understand why you have that certain response rising in you, because it feels like there's something deeper to it within you that needs to be worked on, that will have a good impact in terms of how you resolve conflict with your partner. So yeah, this is really a card of just sort of like letting the ego go. And ego it's not meant to be a bad thing. Like I said, the ego is like layers upon layers of conditioning, or like a shell that we build to protect ourselves. And when we've been hurt so many times, that shell gets really thick, and we can be very defensive because, you know, we don't want to feel that way again. We never want to feel hurt again. So we can consider that our like sort of attack is our best form of defense, and we can maybe act out of character or act out of alignment. And this is just asking you to like look beyond those layers at what's wounded within you and why, and recognize that that's something that you need to address within you, and then come back to your partner from a place of love, and together you can kind of, you know, overcome whatever challenge is in front of you as a team. Alright, so the next card here is how you can be a better human. So this is like through the eyes of the divine. So you guys have the cosmic heart. Oh, and the frequency that I was drawn for you guys was the cosmic oasis. So there's a little synchronicity, I suppose. And it says here, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Alright, so this almost feels like, I guess with devotion, it's kind of making me think of devoting yourself like to your best self. Does that even make sense? How do I describe this? like really getting to know yourself on a really deep level, and then devoting yourself to those, or to what you've learned about yourself. So like the things that you most care about, the things that you cherish the most. This is a very feminine energy card, where it's almost like getting really vulnerable with yourself, getting really deep with yourself, really getting to know yourself, and admitting to yourself what you truly care about, and then make your life a moving prayer, almost like living true to that in order to make your life aligned with what you really care about. And so like, let's say you're praying about the things you care most about, then you make your life that prayer by living true to all of that, to striving for all of those things. I think I'm making sense now. But yeah, I feel like this is really, whether you're a male or female, this is a very feminine energy, getting really in touch with that feminine energy, being really vulnerable with yourself, being really honest with yourself, looking into your darkness in order to find the light within it, or to make light of it, which feels like almost like looking deep into your shadow and lighting it with the awareness of why that part of you exists in the first place. And that kind of comes back to, you know, being willing to look at why you react the way you do, or why you think the way you do, or why you behave the way you do, in, you know, relationships, friendships, etc. Being very honest with yourself, and even holding yourself accountable when you need to. So yeah, this is really about tuning into your soul, finding out what matters, and then living very true to that. And that will also lead you to the right people, the right person if you're single, or it will help you find a more raw, pure love in an existing partnership if you're already in a connection. Okay, no, they're not going to fit up there. So the next couple of cards, these are a couple of things. It was just supposed to be one thing, but you guys got two cards. It's just like a little task that you can totally bypass if you wish, but it is a couple of things that you can do purely for your energy or your spirit. So you guys have got number 55, write a gratitude list, and number 8, chanting. I do feel drawn to go to the book for these tasks today, because sometimes the book does have a little bit of extra information rather than just like giving you the task with no context. Sometimes it's helpful to know what's in the book. So I'm actually pretty sure that 8 was the first card to come out for you guys, because the second card that came out I didn't see. So I hadn't seen that one, but I had seen that one. So we're going to start with the chanting. Excuse me. But chanting is very good for the throat chakra. So this might open your throat chakra and help you communicate better, which is very interesting that it's kind of coming out there. I'm also just noticing we got 555. And we also have a couple of 8s coming out. But 555 might be something that you're seeing lately, or that you start to see as a confirmation of this reading. But yes, so chanting. If you're new to chanting, you can start with learning to tone Om and the sound for each chakra. At first, practice chanting on your own to gain a level of comfort. Speaking of chanting, what I'm going to do is quickly hold this up for you to screenshot if you want, because we actually have each of the chants for each of the chakras if you're interested. Okay, so hopefully you got that. And it says here, experiment with different tones, noticing which ones come easily or feel challenging. Free yourself from worrying about how you sound and allow your unique voice to resonate and express itself. When you're ready to go deeper and experience the sensation of chanting in a group, look for local singing, chanting, or curtain events. Most yoga studios will include chanting as part of the practice, typically at the beginning or the end of the class. You can also pioneer the effort within your community and gather some loved ones who are willing to chant with you. This activity is especially fun to try in an enclosed space that has a loud echo or outside surrounded by beautiful nature. If you want to go deeper into the chanting and journal, you can use this journal prompt. What blocks, real or imagined, prevent you from chanting? What practical steps can you take to eliminate these blocks? And the gratitude list. I'm going to have a quick drink because I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. Alright, so write a gratitude list. Ultimately, the only thing that we can fully control is our thoughts. To call in good vibes, write a list of things that you're grateful for. It can be for any given day or just a general list of the good stuff in life. Reflect on past difficult situations to uncover the lessons that were hidden in them. That's what we were talking about with this card. It's still fate even when you're led to a person that hurts you, or when it leads to a less than ideal person or situation. It's still fated because it was still a part of your evolution as a human. So that definitely resonates, and it's funny that I laid them out this way even though they came in opposite orders, because it's like they wanted to be paired with these cards, because that's very related to communication, which is all that section was about. And this is about finding gratitude for the fated moments that were not so great experiences, because they were still fate. It was still serendipitous, but just for a different reason. Feel gratitude for how everything has evolved to land you where you are now. Practicing gratitude allows us to shift back to the present moment and recognize how divinely orchestrated life truly is. Holding on to resistance and expectations keeps us attached to our suffering. When we take time to consistently and authentically express our appreciation for others, we receive gratitude in return. This process creates a beautiful cycle of positivity that propels us forward and into a more positive and stable experience of life. If you want to go deeper and journal, the journal prompt is, what are you grateful for? How can you show more gratitude daily? All right, and your final message, which is also one that I'm going to read from the book. I forgot about that. Now I'm doing a lot of reading. Dang it. Interesting. You got quite a purpley kind of hued card, and you have the purple amethyst there, even though it's not amethyst, but it is like a purpley color. And it's the number 11. Oh, you guys have a lot of double numbers, 55, 2 8s, 2 11, or 2 1, sorry. Anyways. Alright, so this piece of advice is, iolite is a stone of spiritual insight. Do you have a particular problem you need to shed some light on, or are you in need of assistance in focusing on what you need in your life? Whatever the issue, iolite is a beautiful stone to work with. It is an excellent aid for shamanic journeying or meditating to help you visualize and then allowing you to understand what you see. When we meditate or journey, sometimes we feel we are making it up, and then our logical mind steps in. Trust is key here in having a visual journey. It's a good practice to start with recorded meditations, journeys that help you visualize what you need to. One key, if you are doing any shamanic journeying, is that if you visualize yourself looking out of your own eyes in your visualization, you are journeying. If you are looking at an image of yourself going about doing things in your visualization, this is normally you creating it. If you can realize this, try to bring your awareness into your body and see through your own eyes to journey. But remember, You can't ever do it wrong. Just go with the flow and be gentle on yourself. You can learn so much from the images you see. When you get back, write down what you have seen. As you write it down, it usually becomes very apparent what it all meant. Follow what your inner guidance is telling you. Even if you think the situation is insurmountable, give yourself time to work with this grid and allow other possibilities to be shown to you. Very interesting. That's actually some really good advice in there, actually. So that's your final advice, and the last thing that we're going to do is get some charms. It's such a mixture of charms that sometimes I kind of just go blank and there's not really anything that comes with the charm, and other times there is stuff that comes through, so we'll just see how we go. I'll try and mix it away from the microphone. Alright, so we do have the flower coming out first, so that is a sign of, getting some time in nature, taking time to stop and smell the flowers. There is also this energy coming through with this card about like beauty and noticing the beauty and bringing more beauty into your life, and I feel like the flower is also very symbolic of that as well. So we might leave the flower over there. We do have a couple of butterflies here. Oh look, we've got another flower too, so again we have a couple of butterflies which kind of represent sort of transformation, and I feel like a lot of that transformation is going to be happening in the way that you communicate and express yourself, the way that you understand yourself as well. So I feel like this is a lot of inner transformation that you are going through. We have the seahorse here, so if you are in a partnership, this is an indication that this is your like life partner or like your lifelong mate, because seahorses do mate for life. So that's a sign to say that this is your person and everything will be okay, especially if you follow the advice that's coming through in here. We have a couple of ribbons, so I don't know if someone watches that. I don't know if someone watching this is someone that tends to maybe wear ribbon in your hair, or your partner wears ribbon in their hair. This is just also kind of bringing me back to that, like bringing more beauty into your life. So maybe this is about putting, clips in your hair, putting ribbons in your hair, flowers in your hair, and just sort of like, it's almost sort of like bringing the inner child out as well. And just sort of, beautifying up your daily existence in those small ways. We have a starfish now, and we also have the anchor, and again with the seahorse there's a lot of like watery charms coming out, so it does feel like perhaps connecting with the ocean might be beneficial to you in sort of like cleansing out some old emotions or energies, and really sort of just cleansing your soul / spirit. The anchor also makes me think of spending time getting grounded, and the starfish also makes me think of regeneration, which is making me think of you kind of like having a bit of your own regeneration in the way that you communicate yourself, and the depths that you know yourself, or that you're going to get to know yourself. We have the key, so it feels like you are unlocking a new chapter, or this will unlock a new chapter, like taking all of this advice. We have the reindeer, so Christmas. The Christmas time period is for some reason significant for this group. So I don't know if there's like an important conversation around Christmas, an important person coming in around Christmas. an important friend, because we did have that sign that maybe you're going to be meeting new people. So if you're single, it could be a romantic partner, and this is trusting that you're being led in the right direction as you get to know yourself and express yourself more authentically, or it could be a new friend as well. I don't fully know what this is, but when I look at it, it kind of looks like an angel or a butterfly. So the angel is kind of bringing me back to Christmas once again, and the butterfly is bringing me back to that transformation. So we'll put it in the middle because it's kind of like both. I don't really know what this is. What's funny is I can't get the image of a face. I can't get the image of a face out of my mind. It's like a little, oh, come on, focus. Do you guys see that little face? But it's just like a drum or something. First I saw a football and then I saw the face. So who knows what that one's supposed to mean, but we'll just leave it there anyway. But yeah, group 1, that's your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it today. I hope that there's some helpful info that you can take away from this in order to grow, understand yourself, love yourself, and therefore be a better friend, partner, human to others as well. But yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. But until next time, stay safe, and I hope to connect with you in another video soon. Bye. Hi Group 2, welcome to your reading. If you're here for Group 2, you've chosen the green Chalcedony. And before we get into your messages, the frequency that I've... Yep, sorry, just checking, making sure it's all in camera angle properly. I don't even think that was English. Geez, Felicia. Okay. I think I need to get grounded. Do I have a crystal for grounding near me right now? Let me just hold on to this real quick. So this could be energy that I'm picking up coming from your reading, but before we get into the reading itself, the frequency that I've got playing for Group 2 in the background that I was drawn to, it says in the title, this one's also by Meditative Mind, Mystical Forest Cavern, 639 and 852 hertz. Embrace love, let go of overthinking and worries. So that could be something that you might want to listen to. It could benefit you in some way, or it might even be giving us a message about what's going to come through in the reading. I'm not quite sure. I don't think I saw any of Group 2's cards. I think they all came out face down from memory, so it might tie into the messages somehow, or it could just benefit someone watching this. So it's linked below with your group's timestamp if you're interested. But let us begin. So starting off with, we asked about how can you be a better friend / family member. So we're either picking up on a family member here, or a friend, or a group of friends, or the divines, just letting you know how you can be a better friend. So what we have here for you guys is, number 9. Okay, so Group 1, you guys seem to be someone who may need to come out of their shell a little bit. What I'm seeing here is straight away, obviously, the turtle, which I think of like someone that kind of recluses away into their shell, or prefers to stay home, a little bit introverted, a little bit shy, someone who feels more comfortable at home. But it feels like Group 2, you guys have so much light and warmth and love to give your friends and your family members, but you seem to kind of just keep it all in. And your advice here is that you need to open it and share your light with other people. Share your affection, be more affectionate, be softer, be more willing to let that light out. What are you so afraid of? Why do you stay in your shell? then again, you may have a very good reason for staying in your shell. So if you are kind of like sticking to yourself, maybe it's because you haven't found the right people, or maybe you haven't fully mastered being your fully authentic self at all times, and therefore you haven't given your soul tribe the chance to be attracted to you because you're not kind of living true to that self. But whatever the case, it feels like the way that you can be a better friend or family member is by opening up, letting your light out, because you do have a lot of love and a lot of light to give. It feels like you have a very warm energy that could really really benefit a lot of people, but for whatever reason you tend to kind of like keep a lid on it. I also notice that this is quite shallow water, like we've got the ocean bed right here and then the water's right here, so this is almost like you're afraid to get too deep, afraid to get too emotional, afraid to open up. So maybe there's a message there also about, finding ways to feel safe enough to open up and overcoming that fear. And I feel like you also have a very healing energy, like in some way you can heal other people with either your love and light or your warmth, or you have a very like healing aura. So this is about kind of like gaining the confidence or gaining the trust to open up and share your light. I also think that it's about like whoever's coming through here, or even if it's the universe, like someone sees you as a total treasure. Like it's like you have the most beautiful energy and the most profound presence, but you don't necessarily see it about yourself. Like the turtle can't see what's on his back here. He probably can't turn his head that far to even see all that treasure, but it's still there. So this is almost like the universe wants you to see yourself the way the universe does, or this friend or this family member wants you to see yourself in the light that they do, because then you would be able to share that love and light and warmth so much easier. But for some reason you don't see yourself in that way. So maybe there's issues around self-worth, or not valuing yourself the way you should, or something like that. But this definitely feels like changing the way you see yourself and acknowledging the treasure that you really do possess, because you are a treasure and you need to recognize that about yourself. Okay, so we're going to move on to, oh, that's right, you guys got 2 cards for the how can you be a better lover. So even if you're single, this can still resonate. Even if you're in a relationship now, this can still resonate. But this is just advice on how you can be a better lover either now or in the future, or just in general. So the third eye chakra and joy and stability. Interesting. So this feels like you have to work through some illusions around your romantic connections. So this feels like, and this could even be the reason why you struggle to see yourself in such a positive light. It feels like you've been through something that's damaged your self-worth, or you've been through a traumatic experience where it's like someone broke you down to the point of where you couldn't see your own light anymore. And then it was difficult to see what you contributed to others, because there was someone in your life at some point that was constantly telling you or making you feel like you weren't good enough. And after going through that for such a long time, perhaps you started to believe it and you started to see, well, what do I have to offer? What do I contribute to my friends, partners, family members? And this has created like a massive block in your third eye, and it feels like it's created this fear or this illusion where either you fear commitment or getting too deep, or you set yourself up to fail by believing everything's doomed to fail. It's definitely, this is like your past experiences covering the beauty in things. So it's like, if you're in a commitment, it can go from being really, really amazing to suddenly you're like, something's wrong. I can feel it. Something's off, something's wrong. And this is not truth-based. This is an illusion because of what you've been through in the past. And you just start to expect things to go wrong, or you create scenarios in your head, or you like stew on it, overthink, and struggle to see it in a positive light. And now I'm starting to see why I was drawn to this frequency, because this is about embracing love and letting go of overthinking and worries. So that makes a lot of sense. So I feel like you guys in your past were constantly made to feel, or outright told, like that you weren't good enough, or that you had to do the absolute most to be loved and cherished, to the point where you stopped seeing what you have to offer as a friend, as a family member, as a human, as a lover. And this is about, you can be a better lover by removing these illusions and really releasing and letting go, clearing out that old energy, so that you can see your current relationship or future relationships in a new light and experience them to their fullest potential. You can have a joyful and stable connection, and you need to start believing that. Otherwise, if your core belief is that it's going to fail, then you're going to manifest that, and it's likely going to fail every time. So this is about clearing your third eye so that you're seeing things more truthfully and seeing things more clearly, not through the lens of your past trauma. And allowing yourself to experience the joy and stability that you can find in a loving partnership if you allow yourself to go there. And once again, I think that the more you see the light within you, the easier it is to attract the relationship that honors that light and aligns with it. So there's some fears that you need to work on. And just basically, ensuring that you're not looking at current situations through the lens of your past and letting it hinder anything you've got going on. But it feels like, the root cause of both of these sections is not seeing your own light, or not feeling like you have value when you absolutely do. Like, you are a very bright, shining, warm light, and you have so much to offer other people just simply by being you, the real you. You have a naturally healing presence. You plant seeds in other people's experiences that help to heal and awaken them. And you really do have so much light to give, but you seem to kind of keep it within you in fear of someone taking advantage of it, perhaps, or just because you were made to feel like that light doesn't exist. Oh, group 2. It's making me sad for you guys. Let's move on. I think that's about all I can get from there, but that's what I can get from there. So let's go into this card here, which is In the Eyes of the Divine. How can you be a better human being? Okay, so we have the Golden Children. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Yeah, this is definitely so in sync with this reading, because this is definitely about you attending to the inner child. So you need to start viewing yourself as a child. So, you know, if a child... Okay, I can only speak on behalf of... well, I mean, if this card's coming out, I'm sure everybody watching this will resonate. But if a child is being really hard on themselves, or like they're trying to do something like, oh, I can't do it, I suck, or something like that, you don't turn around and be like, yeah, you do suck, you should give up. Like, we turn around and we're like, no, it's okay. We encourage them, we give them hope, we motivate them, we nurture them, we try to boost their self-esteem and boost their confidence. And this is about tending to yourself like that child. So this is about being really kind on yourself, being really tender with yourself, getting really connected to that inner child and healing that inner child with a lot of love and a lot of nurture and a lot of reminding yourself and that inner child that you are safe, you are present, you know, all is well, and reminding yourself of your capabilities and your positive attributes and your positive qualities, you know, boosting yourself like you would a small child who's you know, struggling to see themselves in a positive light. This could also be like rooted in childhood, this issue, and maybe this is about kind of going back to that root issue and finding a way to address it, whether it's seeing a therapist or getting some sort of professional help, or other safe practices in, I guess, facing and resolving that trauma. And then this rare gifts is making me want to... It feels like you're very empathic, and it feels like you're very spiritual, and it feels like you have one or more gifts that you could connect to or enhance or expand. So I just want to check the book and see if there's something in there about that. So yeah, this card would suggest that maybe even as a child you were very, you had a very unique intelligence, like you were very spiritually aware or very wise, or like a really old soul or something, and just very, very intuitive. You might have struggled at school, and it's like you're kind of new to this human thing, like you're more comfortable as a spirit, so learning to be human's a little bit difficult. This card can also be about, you know, mothering or fathering or nurturing others as well as yourself. So if you have children, it's about really, really connecting and nurturing your children, working on the connection with your children, that type of thing. If you don't have children, then this is about your inner child, or it could even be about just nurturing other people and being that gentle healing force for others. It does say that you may be called to tend to a creative idea or project or a new beginning. It doesn't really mention any specific gift, but I do feel like you are gifted whether you know it or not. So if you do know that you have a gift, this is about really mastering it. And if you don't know you have a gift, then I feel like you will slowly start to acquaint yourself with it as you kind of do this work and tend to your inner child. It's like reconnecting to your inner child reconnects you to that gift that you had as a child, or it opens it back up. Fears could have blocked that gift, because if you had a scary experience as a child, you maybe started to sort of shut it out. And given the placement of where the third eye chakra is, that's definitely possible, and kind of working through that fear will help you harness that gift again. Before we do the next couple of cards, I'll just have a quick drink. Sorry about me. I also want to point out that this card can also be about treating others with the same kind of care and tenderness that you would treat children with, and treating yourself with the same kind of tenderness and care that you would treat a child with. So hopefully y'all are people who are very compassionate with children, because if you're not, then I don't want you to be, you know. But obviously, like I said, if you're here in this group, I'm sure I'm attracting very moral, human beings with values and who are very connected to their light. Even if you're someone who doesn't quite see your light, I feel like you're not out here. Oh my God, why am I even going down that road? Seriously, just shush, Felicia. Moving on to the self-care tasks. Holy heck. Okay, so you guys have got, oh, by the way, un momento, these cards are what you can do to improve your energy or lift your spirit in some way. So we're talking about how you can grow as a friend, partner, human, and then this is about how can you improve your energy or your spirit levels. So you guys have got connect with your ancestors and connect with your womb. Interesting. What I find interesting, because we have connect with your womb and we have the golden children, and obviously children are birthed through the womb, so that's quite interesting to me. We are going to be reading the self-care tasks from the book because I felt called to, and sometimes it's helpful to know why it's important, not just do this with no context. So anyway, connect with your ancestors. Through understanding our history, we gain a deep sense of appreciation for all the time and people that took to bring us into this world, which is similar to the womb, actually, bringing us into the world. Connecting with our ancestors is one way to better understand ourselves, our patterns, and peace with all that has happened before. It also provides motivation to evolve and find new and better ways to live. Building this bridge is something that you can do by researching and connecting the dots between family stories, DNA analysis, and traditional archives. You can also learn about your family line in more intuitive ways, like meditating, dream work, and working with a past life regression specialist or someone who specializes in reading the Akashic records, a metaphysical archive of everything that has ever happened within the universe, including all your past lifetimes and all those that will come in the future. Call on your ancestors and tap into centuries of wisdom, protection, and guidance. As you look back and connect with your forebears, your path forward will become more evident. If you want to go deeper into this, the journal prompt is: what patterns or trends exist in your family line, especially among the women if you're a male, or if you're especially among the women if you're female, or among the men if you're male. Do these patterns appear in your life? And then we have connect with your womb. Meditate on drawing forth the creative energy of your womb, your mother's womb, or the cosmic womb. This will help you gather insight about the creations that the universe is calling forward from within you. By opening up this intuitive dialogue with your womb, you will also better understand what needs releasing. And again, if you are male watching this, you can still do this task, but you could connect with your mother's womb or the cosmic womb. So I know that this deck is quite a feminine deck, but we all have feminine energy within us, and it doesn't mean that you can't do it if you're a male or a masculine. So if you're doing your womb, of course, rest one or both hands on your lower belly and send loving energy into this space. Ask your womb, physical or energetic, the following questions. What creation wants to come forward through me? What energies are stored here? What womb traumas within me or from my lineage need healing? If fertility or birthing happens to be in your energetic field, take this time to tune in deeper into your womb as the vessel through which new life can enter this realm. Ask your womb how you can support it in healing or in carrying a new life. Listen carefully to the answers that reveal themselves. And if you want to go deeper into that one, the journal prompt is: what feelings, thoughts, and beliefs do you associate with your womb / the cosmic womb, and why? All right, the final card for you guys is just some final advice, basically, which we're also going to read from the book, and then we'll get some charms. So we have number 9 here. Oh, you guys have 2 9s. All right, so you guys have got cleanse, which makes sense because we do seem to have some like illusions and some past traumas or past events that are clouding your energy or your judgment or even your perspective of yourself. So I can see why we've got cleanse. This is a time to cleanse. Shungite is a powerful cleanser, so if you have drawn this card, it may be time to strip away all that is impure or that no longer serves you to reveal the truth. You may already be going through a big cleanse. Whatever the situation in which you find yourself, Shungite will help you remove everything that is clouding the situation. You may need to cleanse the energy in a room or working space. Gridded in a room, Shungite is very effective. Coupled with black tourmaline, it is a reminder to let it go and ground out energy that you no longer need. Shungite is reported to be around 2 billion years old, making it a very ancient earth energy stone. Because of its age, it has experienced the many changes that have happened on this earth. Working with Shungite can therefore help when going through changes of your own. Drawing on the wisdom of the stone and its ability to cleanse makes for a very deep change. Remember, we always get through each situation that we are presented with. We may not forget what happens to us, but we can choose to let it go and not hold on to its negative energy. Embrace change, let go of what you don't need in your life, and carry on. You will become so much stronger for it. By letting go, we give ourselves room for new energy to manifest. 100. All right, so finally we're going to do the charms. I will mix them sort of a little bit away from the microphone before I pull some out. Sometimes there is some charms in here that are so random that I don't really know what they are and I don't really get any messages, so we just sort of leave those ones to the side. But most of them we get some good info. So group 2's final advice. Okay, so I did not realize there was that many in my hand. Wow. Okay, so we do have love and we do have the infinity symbol. So this is sort of, making me think of that unconditional love that you need to show yourself, and that, you do. I feel like you already kind of have that unconditional love for others, but you just kind of keep everything under lock and key. Like, you're very selective about who gets to see that loving, supportive side of you. But mostly I feel like the message here is about unconditional love for yourself and treating yourself very kindly. And then I also kind of look at the infinity sign as like your past lives, your past traumas and things like that, with this connect to your ancestors card. And then this could also be a sign that if you are single, you do have like an infinite love coming in when you can sort of free yourself of these illusions. Or if you are with a partner and you are buying into these fears coming from your third eye or your past conditioning, this is kind of reminding you that this is an infinite love, and that maybe you need to have a bit more faith in it. We do have, again, another heart. Just trying to see. Oh, we have the turtle. So you could potentially have... Oh no, it's you guys that had the turtle. What am I talking about? So again, coming out of your shell, feeling safe and secure in who you are. I don't know if someone's got like a relocation coming up, but I think if you are going through a relocation, you can trust that you're being led to where your soul needs to be for some whatever reason. All right, what else do we have here? We have love once again. So there's so much of this love energy coming through. Again, I just feel like it's asking you to open your heart, to share the love that you have within you. But I think that starts with like recognizing it within yourself and feeling safe enough in yourself to let all that love out. We do have the teddy bear, which is making me think of, you know, that inner child message about connecting to that innocent inner child within you, having time for play, you know, seeing the magic in life, you know, speaking to fairies, you know, seeing life through the eyes of a child. You know, even the reindeer like is making me think of like Christmas and Santa, and again seeing life through the eyes of a child, and just reconnecting to that innocence inside you. We have the bottle opener, so it does kind of make me think about like opening up. And then when I kind of put it here with joy and stability, I'm seeing a celebration coming in your future. So either there's something to celebrate for you, or you're invited to a celebration and there's something important about it, because it's making me think of like a champagne bottle opening up, and that's all the champagne kind of like spraying out. So if you get any invites, or if you have something coming up that is some type of celebration, it's important. Definitely make sure that you go. We have the anchor. So you could need to get grounded, or you could need to let go of anything that's weighing you down, which could be this sort of lingering past trauma that you've got going on, or anything else. We have the flamingo here, which is a card that makes me think of unity consciousness and collective healing, because I think it makes me think of that because of, I think in my spirit animal deck, I think that's what it's about. And this can be about like not feeling like you have to do it all alone. It's about sharing the healing with others, healing with others. You know, it's okay to heal with others. You don't have to heal by yourself. It's about finding the people that you really resonate with and really align with, and then helping each other grow and heal as a collective of souls. We do have a few sort of like beach and ocean signs as well when I put them all together. So again, just like pile one, I feel like you guys could benefit from spending some time in or by the ocean to cleanse your spirit, your soul, and intentionally go into the water, like with the conscious intention to cleanse energies and emotions that no longer serve you. We do have the cat, so I do feel like especially with the way that its back is arched, like that's kind of what a cat does when it feels threatened, or like when it senses a threat. And I feel like this is your energy right now, like sensing some kind of threat because of your past and the illusions that it's created. And I feel like this is asking you to come back to your center and to really try to like meditate and come back to that inner knowing, because once you can get back to that inner knowing, your intuitive self will be like, okay, there's actually no danger here, there's actually no threat, there's not actually anything to worry about, that kind of thing. I also, when I look at these two, it's almost giving me an energy of like tiptoeing. So if you feel like you're tiptoeing around a situation, or you're walking on eggshells around someone, I feel like there's some sort of, I don't know, conversation that needs to be had, or there's something around like tiptoeing around a situation, or a very fragile situation that needs to be addressed. So take that as it resonates. Sorry that I can't give you any more. We have the flower. That's kind of bringing me back to the message we got about indulging your inner child. You know, when you're out and about, take the time to stop and smell the flowers and appreciate the beauty that's around you. Look for fairies, connect to fairies, connect to your ancestors. Again, the fairy could be representative of an angel that's around you at the moment trying to come through. But yeah, a lot of like inner child healing and mother wounds and father wounds and generational wounds and things like that is what I'm kind of picking up. We have the cactus. So let me think. You know, cactuses can survive in very harsh environments, like very dry, hot environments. So it's kind of making me think that, you know, you are someone that is adaptable and you can survive or have survived in some really harsh environments. But, you know, the cactus still stands tall and strong. So I feel like it's almost metaphorical of you recognizing how strong you are even after the conditions that you've been through or lived through in your life, and to honor kind of like how strong you really are. And also like this this cactus has no like prickles on it, so I almost feel like this is representing, you know, how you can still be strong but still be soft and vulnerable. Like you don't always have to have your spikes out ready to attack or stopping people from getting too close. Like you're strong enough to let people in now is, I feel like, what that's saying. I'm not gonna lie, these actually, something came through with this one, and it's about not looking too far back and getting caught in the past, not looking too far ahead, and just learning to be a bit more present, and appreciative of the present moment. That's what that's making me think of. Also, you know, ancestors, family line, going back is making me think, you know, in order to go forward, you need to go back and kind of like address what's happened, but without getting stuck there. You know, you need to make sure that you keep moving. Pretty abstract, I know, or I could be reaching here, but what I did kind of see is the teardrop shape. So I do feel like you do have an emotional purging that needs to happen, and I feel like as you connect with your ancestors and as you connect with your womb, I feel like there's going to be this massive emotional release, and you're really guided not to bottle it up. Just like popping open a champagne bottle, just let the floodgates open and just let all that emotion out, because it really will be so purifying for your spirit, your energy, even your body as well, and that sort of sacral chakra, maybe even the base chakra as well. But it's definitely needed, and you should definitely just sort of go with the flow. And if that's what happens, just allow it to happen and allow those tears to be set free, basically. So that's the end of your reading, group 2. I hope that you've enjoyed this message. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you have resonated, or if it has helped you in some way. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, guys, stay safe, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye. Hi group 3, welcome to your reading, where we're looking at how you can be a better friend, a lover, human being, just how can you be a better person in general, really. So if you were drawn to group 3, you were drawn to the the Amazonite. I don't know why I found that so hard to say then. I did the same kind of thing in the intro as well. Oh, anyway. So that's your crystal, which we're going to pop over there. Before we get into your cards, the frequency that I was drawn to for this group, because I've had a different one for each group, is an earth elemental healing. So this is for grounding, growth, prosperity, and strength. And actually mostly I was drawn to the background image, which is lots of trees, lots of greenery, different types of like shrubs, and I think that looks like there's a little garden path in there as well, so very earthy background. So I guess the nature was calling to me in this frequency for some reason. So it's linked in the description box if you would like to have a listen yourself. Otherwise it might link us to something that comes through in the reading, but we'll see what happens. So let's have a look. To start with, we're going to have a look at how you can be a better friend / family member. So we could either be channeling a friend of yours, a family member, or it could just be the universe that we're speaking to. Okay, so 24, time for a nap in the reverse position. Okay, so time for a nap in reverse. This would be all about like recognizing that it's not a time to do and act and overwhelm yourself with tasks and activities, and it's more of a time to just be. To be honest, I could look at this in two ways. Either this is a sign where working on the friendship that you have with yourself and getting more time alone could help you be a better friend and better family member to others, or it could be about finding more time to be with your friends and your family members and literally just do that, just be, not going on activities and going on adventures and, you know, passing the time with distractions and things like that. It's like, well, actually, no, you can still, I guess it depends what you're doing, because like this is like not forcing, not planning, not going out and about, not doing those types of things, but more about just spending quality time, just being with each other and allowing each other to just be, not feeling like you need to do something or be somewhere or like just be, you know. And I could also interpret that as allowing others to be who they are, and not trying to force them to fit your expectations or who you want them to be. I might even pull a clarifier on that, but it may be that everybody could take this in a bit of a different way. So this is like either, just to reiterate and make sure I've covered all the bases, because a lot comes through with this card, so I think I might even pull a clarifying card, but it's either a time to just sort of be by yourself and work on the relationship with your own self and working on being alone and not having to be busy and just working on finding time to just be by yourself. It could be finding time to connect with your friends and family, to just be and just spend quality time with each other without any expectations or plans, just to chill, just be and just enjoy each other's company. It could even be about like I said, allowing others to be who they are and not trying to mold them or force them to fit any of our expectations or our hopes of who they could be. And I also feel like if there's a friendship or a relationship with a family member that is quiet or it's inactive or whatever, I think this is don't force it. Don't feel like you have to act. Just be and like let it unfold as it will. So I don't know if there's just like a lot of different collectives in this group, and maybe you all need to take it how it resonates for your personal situation, but I'll pull a card and and I'll get like a clarifier for the vast majority. So for the vast majority of group 3, can we clarify time for a nap in reverse? So yeah, the High Priestess is definitely an energy of like saying less, doing less, you know, being a little bit mysterious, listening to your intuition, observing. And the Tower in reverse is making me think of like if it was in the upright, it would be like you're in the midst of the explosion, but because it's in the reverse position, it feels like something has just happened with a friend or family member, and now is not the time to act or do anything. Now is the time to just be, just observe, listen to your intuition, you know, listen twice, speak once. So that's what the message is for the vast majority of you. And then there's those other sub messages. So take that as it resonates. Yeah, 7 of Cups, because it's like if you were to try to make a decision right now, it might be the wrong one. You know, you might make it based on emotions, or you might make it based on an illusion, or you might make it based on wrongful information. There's too many possible outcomes here, and not enough clarity on what the outcome will be. So it's like it's very fluid at the moment, and it's just not a time to make any decisions or anything like that. So this reading is almost speaking more specifically about a specific person or a specific issue or relationship breakdown in your life, but take it as it resonates. And like I said, that there were some other meanings that I covered as well. But for now, we're going to move on to how can you be a better lover or partner. So even if you're single, this is still meant to be helpful advice. So either for now, or maybe it's even for the next person that comes in for you. But either way, we'll have a look at how you can be a better lover. So we have release, number 13. Okay. So when I look at this card, it feels kind of like it kind of looks like he's sort of like shedding an outer layer of the self, and out of that, or sorry, inside that layer is like a more pure version of self. So this feels like, I'm just trying to figure out why it was in the reverse position. I thought I would have turned it around for this deck, but maybe there's a meaning for why it's in reverse. But okay, I'm going to talk about it in the upright, and then I'll do what I've done here, and I'll pull a quick card. But yeah, it feels like you can be a better partner by perhaps releasing a version of yourself that no longer aligns with your true nature or your true being. So maybe you, for argument's sake, I'm not saying this is anyone's particular story, but let's say, for example, you used to be someone who was like really jealous and very insecure, and you would get really angry at your partner or at your exes, when there was another person around them, or you would feel threatened very easily, and you used to react based on how you felt. But maybe now the true version of you actually has let all that go, but because you were stuck in that pattern for so long, maybe every now and again, like, you react without that awareness, and then later on you're probably like, hang on a minute, actually looking back, I don't really know why I acted that way. And sometimes it's because we just react the way that we are familiar with, and then by releasing that layer and becoming aware of that reaction, we can let it go. So this feels like you letting go of a certain pattern or a certain, belief or something from your past that no longer resonates with your present. If you're in a relationship, it could even be releasing the issues of the past and moving forward without that baggage anymore. But you can't just sort of go, oh yeah, okay, it's released, I've let it go. No, you need to dive deep into it and make sure that it's healed. So you've spoken about the problem with your partner, you've let out the emotions associated with it, you've come to an understanding, and then a mutual agreement that now, okay, we're going to let it go and we're going to put it behind us. And that may take time. So it's not to say it's a quick or easy thing to do, but it would make it worth it. So given that it was in reverse, there could be like something that you're really clinging on to, or something that you're really holding on to that doesn't align with your true nature right now. So let me see what I can grab out on that. Because in the reverse, it's almost like for some reason you're either clinging to it or you're not seeing it. So can we clarify what needs to be released? Or can we clarify why release is in the reverse, and just get some confirmation there for group 3, please? If you're single, you could even need to release someone from your present. Release someone from your past. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because the 8 of Cups is walking away from something that once made you happy, but it's not fulfilling you anymore. So if you're clinging to a person from the past, this is a very clear sign that in order to be a better partner in your future, you need to let this person go, so that their energy can't impact or influence any connections that are coming into your future. And then if you're in a partnership, this is once again about letting go of whatever happened in the past, healing it properly down to the root, so that you can leave it behind you. Because she can only walk away from this because it's all stacked nicely and it's like it's balanced now. But if it was chaotic, it would be very hard to probably walk away from and leave it left behind. Does that make sense? She's also facing the moon, which I feel like whatever you're releasing involves facing your true emotions and illuminating the emotions that you've tried to deny or suppress. Yeah, we have the Star in reverse. So this is, that kind of tells me that there is something to be healed that's associated with this. Like there's going to be like an emotional release. There's going to be a real healing process that happens with this. And then when you come out of it, you'll have a brand new perspective on like love and partnerships. Alright, so now we'll go on to this card here, which is from the Divine, on how you can be a better human. So you have earthed, and it literally says here, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. So first of all, I think that, if you are going through a hard time, or even if like all of this is like a lot for you, at the end of the day, here on earth, we are spirits in a human body, and we are learning how to be human. So we are not, in this life, we are born human, but our soul is eternal, and our soul is relatively new at being human in this world. There's so many complex emotions and so many complex experiences that we go through and awaken to in this world, and it's very important that we go easy on ourselves and that we're kind on ourselves when we are learning our lessons, because they are very difficult challenges. Like, there's not a lot of, actually I don't think there's any, or there's not many, I mean, who knows, far out, the universe is like infinite and we have no idea what's out there. But in terms of like other species and what people have been able to learn about other sort of alien races, is that there's not a lot of species who deal with as much darkness and as much negativity as what we do. Most of them are, way higher dimensional beings than us, and they exist on like frequencies of like unconditional love. Like, they are so far beyond this dual world, it's not funny. So when souls come down to earth, it's one of the toughest lives that we can sign up for. So it's not for the faint-hearted, but we're just here doing our best, and you should go easy on yourself. It's also a card about making sure that you are getting grounded and connecting with the earth. So I can see why I was connected to this like nature picture and this frequency, because it's all about grounding. And then we've got that earth picture where it's like, yeah, get into nature and connect, because that's, being a spiritual being, is very important that we are connecting to our human self and grounding with the earth, because that's going to help us be present. Because sometimes it's like, yeah, we're in the world and we're existing, but we're not really here. We're kind of away with the fairies or in another dimension. I find, like if I'm doing a lot of readings and I'm forgetting to ground, that's literally what it feels like. Like, it feels like I'm kind of floating through life and I'm in it and I'm existing, but I'm not really here. I'm not really present. And then I'm like, oh God, I really need to get my feet in the earth, or like I need to go and sit on the beach or something like that, because it's very, you kind of get a little bit spacey. So I think that this is a sign that you need to ground, I guess, to integrate what you're learning and the lessons that you're learning, and integrate the upgrades, maybe if you're like, if you're going through like a spiritual ascension or anything like that. That could definitely be about, making sure you're grounding so that all of that spiritual stuff can all integrate in your human body. Just because I checked the book for the last two groups, I'll just double check I'm not missing anything in the book for that one. So it says here, most starseeds are drawn toward transcendence. They're more comfortable with the angels and the heavens. Life on earth can be more difficult for them. If this is you, you're being reminded that you chose to be a soul in a body on earth, and you're being called to focus more of your energies in the physical world, to learn how to be human, a soul in a human body, fully present to what life on earth has to offer. So I think one of your challenges is because you are so much more comfortable in the spirit world, because maybe you've had many, many more lifetimes in different forms, in different dimensions. I think that this world is just really, really tough, and maybe you can be prone to like escapism and detaching and disassociating with your reality. And your challenge is actually grounding in reality and connecting to your reality, and that's what's going to really help you the most. Whew, okay, so the next two cards, you guys actually only got one, which but you were the only group that only got one. So then I thought I would shuffle out an extra one for you guys. You're welcome. So these two cards are how can you improve or lift your energy and spirit. So we've got how you can improve as a friend, how you can improve as a partner, how you can improve as a human. Now we're going to talk about how you can improve your energy levels and your spirit. So you have got spend time with friends. Interesting. And you've got connect with fire. So I will read both from the book. I'm laughing at spend time with friends because we did have that message of like letting someone be, or letting a situation be, or maybe you just need to be by yourself, or maybe you just need to be with, you know, your loved ones and just be. And then we get spend time with friends. So I think that this is about quality time with no pressure or demands or expectations. You know, maybe it's about, because we do have the fire here, and because in this we do have like a few divination tools, maybe it's about getting your friends together for like an intention setting ritual or a fire ritual where you're sacrificing what doesn't serve you anymore and you're offering it up to the divine. And it's funny that that's come out under release and that's come out under the friends card. So this is about spending time with your soul tribe, or the people that you really, really, truly connect with and resonate with. So it wouldn't be, if there's a person that you're in conflict with, it's definitely not that person. It could even just be one person, or it could be a group of people. And this is about finding time to literally just be, you know, drink tea, draw, create, eat, chat, and just be with each other in that sense. And in connectivity or in conjunction with this fire, again, we've got a group of people around a fire. So this could be about a fire ceremony or a burning ceremony, like I said, to sacrifice what doesn't serve you anymore and offer it back up to the divine. It could even be, if you're watching this immediately, this could be about setting intentions for like a new moon ritual, because we are in the new moon energy right now. But let's have a quick read of those from the book, because I do find it interesting to put some context into why this is important or helpful. So 49. Friends are one of the greatest gifts in life. Plan a time to meet up with your friends in person to do something fun, even if it's only the simple act of sitting around and talking about what's going on in your lives. So that's particularly what's important for you guys. If you've been out of touch with friends who keep coming up in your thoughts, make sure you get caught up with them. Reach out to a friend who lives far away. Share the best of what's happened to you both and see what you can learn from each other to propel you forward on your journeys. To call in a more fun and a more profound sense of connection, plan a goddess circle with your besties. Bring your friends together to share wisdom and experiences around a theme, or arrange a ritual to celebrate the new moon, full moon, or solstice. If you want to go deeper into this and journal on it, the prompt here is, are there new friends you want to call in? If so, write out the qualities that these new friends hold to help usher in their arrival in your life. And number 12, connect with fire. Oh, excuse me. My throat just fully closed up then. Wow. Fire is the perfect tool for setting intentions around letting go, as well as for sending your prayers and manifestations out into the world via its smoke. Fire is one of the 5 classical elements, along with earth, air, water, and ether. But aside from lighting candles, we rarely interact with it in modern times. The ritual of sitting around a fire or in a wood-burning sauna at night, especially under a full moon with a circle of loved ones, is an unparalleled experience. Cultivate a more intimate relationship with fire by coordinating a fire ritual within your community. Maybe storytelling around a campfire, or organising a sauna night, or a sharing circle where you light candles. Candles can transform everyday activities into sacred rituals. Think of an intention and light a candle when you're taking a bath, working, meditating, or doing yoga to bring this element into your energy field. Watch the flames dance and your worries fade away as the path forward is illuminated. As you deepen your relationship with this element, you may feel the call to explore the tradition of fire keeping, where you tend to the logs and embers of the fire. This role has been deeply honoured by many ancient cultures who gathered around the fire during rituals and ceremonies long before there were matches. If you want to go deeper into this and journal on it, the prompt is, what old patterns and beliefs would you like to transmute with the alchemical magic of fire? I did a yoga meditation retreat once, and we, at the end of each day as the sun was setting, we would go around the circle and we would, just in our own minds, basically offer something to the fire to be sacrificed and to be transmuted into the smoke, which would then be offered up to the divine. So it's as simple as that, if that resonates with anybody and you want to do that. So your final card is just some advice to take away from this message. We're also going to read this one from the book, and then we're going to finish off by getting some charms. So your advice is ground. What a surprise. Number 18, and we're going to read it from the book, like I said. All right. You may be in need of some grounding right now. It is easy to get caught up in our spiritual and healing work, or having to do a lot of mental work or stare at a computer for lengthy amounts of time. This can unbalance your energy because your energy is being used by the upper half of your body. You may be feeling a bit spacey, you could be clumsy, or things may not seem quite right. This is a sure sign that you need to ground, and working with smoky quartz or black tourmaline is excellent for this. Not only does it ground you, it also neutralizes negative energy while bringing in calm. Always remember to keep the balance. If you are doing a lot of mental or spiritual work that utilizes your higher chakras, always balance this by doing something that uses your lower chakras or lower body, such as gardening, earthing, placing your bare feet on the earth, doing something creative, or using grounding stones like smoky quartz or tourmaline. Carry the stones on you if you know you will be doing a lot of upper work, or wear a necklace or jewelry to help bring about balance. The more our vibrations rise, the more important this simple exercise is needed. Grounding will also make you feel more centered and in control of what's going on around you. You'll be surprised at the impact of doing this. It will also help you feel more connected to Mother Earth and what she needs. Okay, so I'm going to have a quick drink of water, and then we are going to pull some charms for you guys. So any final advice for group 3? Okie dokie. Alright, so the first thing that we have is the strawberry, and this is giving me the advice that you need to, well, you don't need to, God, I'm not out here bloody demanding that you do things, but what can help you in terms of grounding, because grounding is about the root chakra, and the root chakra is associated to the color red, so eating a lot of red fruits and vegetables is also another way to help you ground your energy as well. So red fruits and veggies, and then also like making sure that if life's not so sweet, or there's something in your life that's not so sweet, it's about bringing sweetness into other areas to help bring in balance. We have both a butterfly and a dragonfly, and this definitely makes me think about sort of transformation. Dragonflies, I'm pretty sure, is it dragonflies that they can fly forwards and backwards, like they can kind of fly in any direction. So I feel like this is you recognizing your ability to move in any direction that you choose, and taking control over the paths that you do take. But it could also be about acknowledging that like the healing journey is never just like you know, from point A to point B. Like we go up and back and around and all sorts of directions, and we never really reach a finish line. So I guess just, you know, healing's a life's work. Don't be too hard on yourselves if you feel like you've just taken a few steps back. You know, just lean into that experience and try to learn what you can from it and do what you need to do to water yourself back to good health and well-being. We have the feather, so look for feathers somewhere on your path as confirmation of the messages today, or as a little sign from your angels that they are around you, that they're present. And we also have the fairy as well. So there definitely could be an angel that's very close by you at the moment, like looking out for you and protecting you, and that feather will be a sign from them. We have the clamshell. I feel like this is almost, you know, once that clamshell, even though it's really, really difficult to open up, when the time is right and they do open up, there's that beautiful pearl on the inside. And I feel like this is kind of symbolizing this release card of like you opening up that tough outer layer and getting one step closer to that, I guess, beautiful, precious center. I also feel like, you know, opening up with that card as well. So yeah, we have this tree of life here, and what stands out to me is that these trees in the background look really, really familiar. They look really, really similar. So I feel like this is definitely like confirming, as well as this one, like to get out into nature with a circle of friends, or even just one friend, and, you know, connect with the earth, connect with the elements. If you can safely connect with fire, then feel free to do that, or maybe do that part at home if that's a bit safer. But like being out in nature is very important for you, but also for grounding purposes. But just because of the trees and how they look really similar to this charm, I feel like that's like, you know, this card can really, really benefit you the most, is like what I feel like that's saying. We also have tea though, so maybe like a tea ceremony, or catching up with your friends and drinking tea or coffee, whatever your preferred beverage. I feel like that's another kind of confirmation that that's going to be beneficial to you. You know, maybe someone watching this is a big tea drinker, and this is like a little personal sign to say, yes, this is your message. I also think of like letting off steam with the tea kettle. That phrase is coming to mind, letting off steam. So, you know, maybe nature and catching up with your friends is just going to sort of help you let off some steam with whatever you've been going through lately. And finally, group 2 had this charm in particular, actually. Maybe you might have a message in group 2 potentially, but I feel like this is kind of you it's kind of like representing how, like, when you're not necessarily grounded, that you feel more threatened and anxious, and like, I guess, how would I describe this? So like this cat's like on its tippy toes, so it's not firmly planted on the ground, and its back's arched up. And when a cat is like that, it's like they are feeling threatened, or they're like scanning for potential threats, or they're like picking up on something, or they're anxious about something. And I feel like this is like another message of like, the more grounded you are, the less anxious you are, and the more secure you are in your being and your human self as well, and just like life in general. So I feel like this is really asking you to really plant your feet in the earth and be present and visualize your roots. really like connecting with the earth and traveling all the way down to the earth's core. And that's maybe like another message in the trees. A tree has very strong roots, as even though they reach high to the sky, they have very, very strong roots that travel very deep into the earth. And because of those roots, they can withstand any force and any potential threat in the weather to stay standing strong. And like that's like another metaphor of the cat. Like the more firmly you're rooted into the ground, like the more firmly that you're connecting with the earth, the stronger that you are with any adversity that you might be facing or any challenges that might be blowing around you and things like that. So that's it from me, guys. If you wouldn't mind giving this a thumbs up if it's been helpful to you, or if you've resonated with it, that would be amazing. But until next time, stay safe, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Bye bye.